Hey guys, welcome to this video. And so today I'm going to be talking about the products that I've been using for the past couple of months to just sort of help grow my hair or maintain the health of my hair. So hopefully you guys find something in here that might help you. Just as I mentioned in the part one of this whole hair series, it's really important to actually address health issues that are happening internally before you rely on topical products to help you promote that hair growth, because no matter how many treatments you use, no matter what kind of conditioner or shampoo you use, if something's happening inside your body, none of these treatments will work. Just so you guys can kind of get like a brief idea of what my hair is like, it's incredibly frizzy, dry and brittle. Since I started losing my hair, it just turned completely crazy. My hair is frizzy all the time unless I straighten it or unless I blow wave it. Although my hair is really frizzy and dry and brittle, the funny thing is because I have very little hair on my scalp, I find that my scalp gets oily really fast because there's no hair to distribute that oil, so it just sits on my scalp. So my hair is just one of those really odd situations where it needs all the nourishment it can get, but at the same time I need something to really clean the scalp every second or third day because there's just heaps of oil buildup. So to start off with, maybe we should talk about the hair supplements I've been taking. So I've been taking these since November last year, but these are the JSHealth Hair and Energy supplements. I've gone through almost 6 bottles of these, maybe more. I've been taking these since November last year and I'm pretty sure I've gone through more than 6 bottles of these. I have found this to be the only thing that has truly stimulated any baby hair growth at all. I've tried a lot of things before. I've just tried plain vitamins in general, and honestly this is the first time I've ever seen any sort of baby hairs grow, especially around the crown of my head, just especially under here. Like even these little baby hairs did not exist prior to taking these vitamins, but the fact that there's anything here is like blowing my mind. I had to take them for at least 3 months before I saw any sort of results or anything like that, and I highly recommend you do that whenever you try anything that has to do with hair, because your hair kind of works in cycles, and if it's in the shedding cycle and it's in the shedding phase and you are taking a supplement at that time, it doesn't matter how amazing that supplement is. If your hair is in that shedding phase, it will just shed hair, and it's not really indicative of how well the supplement or the hair product is working. It's just because your hair is in that phase. It's really important just to give products the benefit of the doubt and just give it enough time to do its thing. Hands down, if you're looking for a hair supplement, this is incredible. The only thing I've really used that I can see works quite well. To be honest with you, it hasn't stimulated a whole lot of growth, but just as long as my hair is taken to fall out, I can't really expect an overnight miracle, and the fact that I have baby hairs is like honestly a miracle. And next up, I have the entire Bondi Boost range. So I'll just go through each product separately, but I pretty much decided to invest in the entire Bondi Boost range because I saw it all over my bloody Instagram. When it comes to ads on Instagram, I never indulge in anything that I see that looks really like overly promoted and overly paid out, except when it comes to hair growth. Like you can sell me anything, I'm just always down to try it. And so unfortunately I've fallen into the trap of buying Bondi Boost, and I've been really curious to see whether it truly works. Now, first off, I have the shampoo and conditioner. I really like it, funnily enough. The shampoo gives my hair a really good clean and gets rid of all the oil that I said builds up over my scalp. I wash it in the morning and by the afternoon it's already oily, but I wash it every second day, and for me, I use it twice. I do shampoo twice because I really just like double cleansing with your skin. I like to get rid of the oils and then I like to clean the scalp properly, because the thing with hair loss is that some people don't wash their hair often because they don't want it to fall out, and then sometimes if you don't wash it often enough, there's a buildup of dirt, oil and stuff on the scalp, so then it actually blocks the hair follicle and your hair ends up falling out. So it's just this really weird balance that you want to meet, where you're not washing your hair too much where you're stripping the scalp and your hair falls out, but then you don't want to under wash it as well where you're blocking the hair follicle. I really like it because I found that even though I washed my hair and it gave it a really good clean, my hair never felt dry or really gritty. And the conditioner as well, I will say it's really nice and hydrating. I would only recommend it for really dry hair because for me it keeps my hair really silky smooth, especially on the ends, because I do heat style my hair. It really keeps it nice and hydrated, which I really like. But I think the conditioner is quite heavy, and I don't know if anybody with like normal hair would really like it, but I really love the two together. I originally just used the shampoo because I didn't want anything weighing my hair down, but then I found without the conditioner my hair was really dry, so the two together is like really perfect. So with the Bondi Boost range, I don't necessarily know if it particularly promotes hair growth, but because it feeds your hair with a lot of vitamins and antioxidants and proteins, it keeps your hair nice and healthy so that it can grow out healthier and not fall fall out. I don't know if there's any part of it that really stimulates or triggers hair growth. So you just have to be careful when you read claims, because people can claim to promote hair growth, but you know, there's not a lot of scientific backing behind that. Now next up, there is the Bondi Boost Elixir Hair Oil. I really like this as well. It's really funny because I actually really like most of the range. I was very skeptical, but I really like the range in the sense that I've found it to be so nourishing. It's probably some of the most nourishing products I've used in a really long time. But this, you leave it on for about 15 minutes. Sometimes I leave it on overnight, but you don't really have to. I've left it on for 15 minutes before and it's done the exact same job. So by nourishing your hair with like treatment oils and stuff like that, it really keeps the hair nice and healthy, so then it's less likely to snap and break and sort of get split ends. So then you just have a nice healthy head of hair. So this has been really nice. I actually was skeptical about this because I thought, like, you're gonna wash it out after 15 minutes, like what's the point? But funnily enough, it's actually really nice. The majority of this hair elixir or hair treatment is castor oil, which is great because castor oil is meant to help promote hair growth. Now I'll talk a little bit about the science behind that and how true it is that castor oil really does help promote hair growth, but it definitely does nourish the hair. So majority of this is different types of castor oil and other seed oils, but the ingredients in this are really nice. So the next product I have is the Bondi Boost Intensive Spray. Now this is sort of like a vitamin spray. I'm still baffled as to what this does, but it's meant to be like a concentrated leave-in formula. So just like you had the pre-wash and then you shampoo and condition, you leave this one in instead. It's more of like a water base as to an oil. It does have oil mixed into it, but it's quite light. So it doesn't leave your hair feeling really like heavy or anything like that. But I will say, if you've got very oily, fine hair, it will leave a bit of residue, but I don't really mind, to be honest with you, because my hair is so frizzy. It almost tames that frizziness because of the oil weighing it down. This is meant to nourish the follicle of the hair and the rest of the top of the hair as it's growing out, so that it keeps it nice and healthy so that it can stay in the scalp. Whether it works or not, I honestly have no idea. I've just been using it religiously and I'm just hoping for the best. I haven't seen a lot of results in this range because I've only been using it for about 2 months, but I'm kind of hopeful, and so far my hair's been a lot more nourished than it has previously, and I feel like my hair is breaking a lot less. Even though it's falling out, I feel like I'm helping it in the sense that I'm reducing the amount of breakage. So with the Bondi Boost range, a lot of the stuff that you buy online, when you buy one, you get 50% off. And that's why I've bought a lot of stuff in bundles, because honestly, it just works out cheaper. And like I said before, if you're going to commit to a hair growth promoting product, you're going to want to commit to it for 3 months. So if there is some sort of a bundle, some sort of a deal, you just want to buy it then and there, so that you don't have to keep wasting money buying full price when you know you're going to end up having to buy the second one anyway. So you may as well get it for half price. Now, the lucky last thing I've got from Bondi Boost is actually the Derma Roller. Now, this is something I would be very cautious of using. Just have to be very careful when you use this, because it's actually a device that would normally be used in like a dermatologist's office or in like a medical setting. So the fact that they're selling this online is a little bit dangerous, but you know what? I have nothing to lose at this point, so I'm just going to go ahead and be the guinea pig. But Derma Rollers essentially look like this, and they have little needles on the edge. It's generally used to promote collagen on the skin, and in the same way that it would work on your skin, when you do it on your scalp, you're creating little micro wounds, and it'll help promote the collagen production in that area, but also stimulate the hair follicle to promote growth as well. So that's the idea of this. Now, this needle is 1.5 millimeters. Prior to this one, I had used one from Amazon that was 1 millimeter, and the reason I did that was because I was too scared to use the 1.5, because you need to do your research before you do this. It can be really damaging, because once you damage the hair follicle and once you damage the collagen on your skin, it's really hard to reverse it, and you might end up doing more harm than good. So when I did a little bit of research on YouTube and I watched videos from dermatologists, they recommended doing like no more than 1 millimeter, except I couldn't buy it again after I used it for the first time. They no longer sold it, that particular type, and I didn't really trust the other ones that I saw. So then I was like, you know what, if Bondi Boost are willing to put themselves out there and sell something like this, maybe it'll be fine. So I ended up getting this, and funnily enough, this one was less painful and this needle is a lot longer. So I almost feel like I should have just bought this one from the get-go instead of trusting some random Amazon brand, but this hurt a lot more. The only thing I had a problem problem with when using this was that I kept getting my hair caught in the wheel. So when I use this, my hair is wet. I will split up my hair into sections using like a comb, and then I'll roll it back and forth a couple of times. But you have to keep your hair nice and taut, otherwise your hair gets curled into the roller as you're rolling it. But you're doing small motions. As soon as you do big motions, your whole entire hair will get rolled into it. If you overdo it by accident by rolling over your scalp too many times, or you put too much pressure, like you could potentially be doing more damage than good. So that's why I say yes, this is awesome in this sense, like it's really stimulating growth more than any of those other products are, because it's going at a much deeper level than just the surface, but you're really just using this at your own risk. So I would like to recommend this, but I also don't know how I feel about it. But so far everything's been fine, nothing really bad has happened to me. But another thing as well, when you use derma rollers like this, you need to sanitize it. You can't just spray it with sanitizer. You need to get like a little medicine cup, pour the alcohol into it and just let it sit there so that's pretty much overflowing above the head of the derma roller, and let it sit and disinfect itself. Essentially when you're using this, you're creating wounds, so you just want to disinfect it. It's pretty much like a medical device. So I only have 2 products left, but this is Castor Oil, and this was recommended to me by 2 people actually. So this is just pure castor oil. Now I did a little bit of research and I tried to understand why castor oil was more superior than any other oil and what in it really helps promote hair growth. Now there's actually not much scientific backing as to this being a true hair growth promoter. It's really hard to prove something promotes hair growth because there's just a lot of variables and a lot of factors when it comes to hair growth. The reason why this oil is superior than say coconut oil is because it actually has a lot of antioxidants, proteins, amino acids in there. So a lot of other oils are just fatty oils. So that's why a lot of people prefer to use castor oil when it comes to hair growth. Now, I don't know again whether it truly promotes hair growth. It's really hard to say what stimulates the scalp on a deeper level, but what it does is it definitely keeps your hair nice and healthy and strong. Only thing I don't really like about this is that it's super sticky. I don't know whether it's just this brand and the way it's been refined and processed, but it's really gritty and it's just really like annoying to use. So that's why I haven't used it that much. I try to push through it, but some days like I just can't be bothered because it just doesn't feel really nice. Whereas the Bondi Boost Elixir hair oil, and this has castor oil as the #1 ingredient as well, it just has a really silky texture and it just glides into the hair and it doesn't feel sticky. Whereas this one, if you run your fingers through your hair, it just feels really gritty. So that's why I've always jumped back to this, and I've always used it overnight, even though it says 15 minutes, because it does have a lot of castor oil in this and it doesn't feel as like gritty. But if you just really want to straight up use 100% castor oil, and this is much cheaper by the way, and you're willing to push through, then use this. I always use a towel on top of my pillow when I use this overnight, and I try my best to run it through my entire scalp and all along the ends of my hair as well. Sometimes if I really don't like the feeling, what I'll do is I'll use this on my scalp and then I'll use coconut oil through my ends to keep it nice and hydrated. Okay, now this is the lucky last product, and it's actually really random, but it is a hair wrap from Aquis. I think that's how you pronounce it, Aquis, yeah. And I've had this for a very long time, but it's pretty much a hair turban, and you twist it. So imagine that's my head, and you twist it and you just button it at the top. So you would actually use this when your hair is obviously wet and you've just come out of the shower. So the reason why I've chosen to use this for a while now, I've had it for almost 2 years, but I've chosen to always use this over a towel, is because traditional towels are really heavy. And pretty much when you wrap your hair in a turban, when you've got that traditional body towel on your head, it weighs the hair down. And when your hair is wet, it's really delicate and you need to treat it really gently. So when you have something really nice and light like this, it doesn't pull and stretch your hair, especially when you pull the front and the crown of your head. It causes something called traction alopecia, and so it doesn't necessarily mean that you're losing hair because of anything happening internally. It's happening because of external factors like tension. So when you pull your hair constantly with a really heavy towel, you're doing it without even realizing, because the towel is so heavy, it's causing a lot of tension along the hairline. So I've stopped using towels for that reason, and I always use something like this, and it's really lightweight. So the material from this towel is meant to dry your hair actually 50% faster. So it means that you won't have to waste as much time, you won't have to aggravate the hair by like rubbing it and causing friction. Because what happens is when you cause that friction with the towel on your actual hair, you're irritating the cuticle and you're lifting the cuticle up, which causes really frizzy hair, and I don't think a lot of people realize that when they do it. This has been my sort of like go-to like tool that I've had for a really long time, but I thought I'd just share this in case anybody's just curious as to how you can dry your hair a little bit more efficiently and a little bit more gently. But that's pretty much all my products I'm using at the moment. It's quite an extensive range, so I do have a lot of steps, but for me right now it's just all about nourishing my hair, just trying to make sure as little falls out as possible, and if that means using all those products, well then I'll take it. All those products separately can be used by anyone, to be honest with you. I think healthy hair just has to be constantly nourished, and all those products really just offer your hair like a bit of balance and a bit of nourishment with oils, antioxidants and proteins in it. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video.